Welcome to Storytime. Sora meets Yen Sid, who tells him that the Heartless are still a problem since people still have darkness in their hearts, and he explains what nobodies are. He and the three fairies also give Sora some new clothes since he's kind of outgrown his old ones.
All right then. Together now, dears. And no more squabbling. Oh my.
Oh, it's lovely.
Oh yes, he does look very dashing.
The boys get the gummy ship back, but Sora kind of closed off all the worlds last time. Luckily, the Keyblade will allow Sora to unlock new gates between them, so we're good and they go off to find their first world. Maleficent's pet crow brings Maleficent's cloak back to the mysterious tower, and when the fairies remember how evil she was, she uses those memories to reform. Sora and friends reach Hollow Bastion, which is being rebuilt by Leon and his friends. It's going pretty well, but the Heartless are swarming the castle, and nobodies are popping up in town now too. Xemnas and the organization members show up to taunt Sora, but they don't stay long. Since Sora is now their only Keyblade wielder, they just need him to keep defeating Heartless. Sora opens up the next gateway and heads to the Land of Dragons. There they meet Fa Mulan, who is pretending to be a boy so she can join the Imperial Army in place of her disabled father. They also see Mushu, one of the summons who traveled with him the first time around, and Mulan's guardian spirit. Mulan struggles to fit in with the men in the army training ground, while the commander, Shang, tries to keep order and make the troops combat worthy. Mushu spots Jian Yu, the leader of the Huns, but when Sora and Mulan go looking for him, he uses the Heartless to keep them occupied while he goes and races the village where the army is stationed. Sora and Mulan fight off Shan Yu's Heartless army, and their friends help bury him in the snow. Shang finds out Mulan is a girl and kicks her out of the army, leaving her and the others behind. Turns out Shan Yu isn't actually buried though and is attacking the capital. Shang safeguards the Emperor while Sora and friends take on Shan Yu, and though he's powered by darkness, they manage to hold the door and defeat him. The Emperor acknowledges Mulan's strength and thanks her for saving China, and Sora moves on to Beast's castle. There they find an enchanted rose, but the Beast is not that happy to see them. They track down Belle, who explains that the Beast has been acting kinda weird and locking up his servants. They also find out the Beast used to be a prince, and all his servants got turned into furniture after he scorned an enchantress who was looking for shelter from a storm. But I mean, I think we've all been there. Sora frees the servant to explain the Beast's curse. If he doesn't find true love by the time the last petal of the rose falls, he'll remain a beast forever. Xaldin has taken an interest in Beast's potential for darkness, and is trying to convince him he can never be loved, which has made him lose it a little bit and explains why he's been acting out so much.
I've had enough of strength. There's only one thing I want.
What? To love and be loved in return. Who could ever love a beast?
Xaldin captures Belle, but the heroes save her and she and Beast make up. Sora means to go to the Colosseum next, but they end up in the underworld instead. They save a girl named Megara from some Heartless, and she tells them that Hades is sending Hercules the strongest opponents he can and he's exhausted. At Pete's suggestion, Hades sends a dead warrior Aron to fight Herc, but he immediately defies Hades and allies with Sora instead.
This is my story, and you're not part of it.
Did you forget who you're talking to? I am the Lord of the Dead!
No wonder no one wants to die.
Hades kidnaps Meg and sicks the Hydra on Hercules, so Sora goes after her. Sora needs the Olympus Stone to fight the Underworld Curse, but Demyx shows up and steals it.
If the subject fails to respond, use aggression to liberate his true disposition. Right. Did they ever pick the wrong guy for this one?
Demyx is reluctant to fight, but he loses and Sora takes back the stone. Sora frees Meg, but Hades is really just tricking Sora into opening the lock on his Underdome arena. The Hydra is wreaking havoc topside, so Sora gives Herc a break and takes care of it. Phil tells him to get up on the Hydra's back, repeatedly, like for the entire fight. After the Hydra's finally defeated, Hercules agrees to get some rest while Sora moves on. Back in Hollow Bastion, Maleficent fires Pete for messing up so often, and he wishes for a simpler time where he was just a steamboat captain. The wish causes a magical door to appear, leading to a pocket world containing a past version of Disneytown back when it was still the Timeless River. He shows it to Maleficent and she hatches a new plan. The group goes to Disney Castle, which is being overrun by Heartless. Minnie takes Sora to the Hall of the Cornerstone. The Cornerstone is a magic stone that defends Disney Castle from the darkness, but Maleficent has invaded the hall and is trying to take it over. Sora grabs Merlin from Hollow Bastion, and he creates another door to the Timeless River. There they see Captain Pete and assume that he's up to no good, but after beating on him they realize he's not actually the Pete they know. They have various encounters with the past Mickey as they defeat Heartless throughout the world. Present Pete steals the Cornerstone, but Sora gets it back with Captain Pete's help. Sora locks the door to seal off the world and the castle is safeguarded once more. Now some of you may be saying, Phil, that was time travel, right? Doesn't time travel not work this way later on in Kingdom Hearts? And all I can say is we're gonna cover it, but it's not that important now, so just put it on the back burner. Sora, Donald, and Goofy next end up in Atlantica, where Ariel's obsession with the human world is driving her father crazy. Of course, Heartless are overrunning the world, threatening everyone with, well, actually, there's no Heartless. There's just a concert and everyone sings a lot. Look, everyone hates this part of the game, but I love musicals, so I had a great time. Anyway, Sebastian tries to convince Ariel dry land is awful, but there's a foxy prince named Eric on the surface, so she's not buying it. King Triton yells at Ariel, so she swims off, and Ursula offers her some genuine human legs in exchange for her voice. Eric's got to kiss her within 3 days, or she'll turn back into a boring old mermaid and be under Ursula's control. Of course, Eric's dreamy eyes went out, and Ariel agrees. She goes to the surface and flirts with Eric, while Sora, Donald, Goofy, Flounder, and Sebastian all watch creepily from the water. Weird, guys. Real weird. Ursula shapeshifts into a beautiful woman to steal Eric away. Sora zaps her and Ariel gets her voice back, but it's too late and she's a mermaid again. Triton agrees to trade places with Ariel to save her, and Sora and Eric team up to fight Ursula. To song, of course. They best the Sea Witch, and Eric's bravery impresses Triton, so he's willing to cut him some slack. Eric seems pretty cool with Ariel being half fish too, so everything seems to have worked out. After one more musical number, Sora goes on to the next world. Sora, Donald, and Goofy next find themselves in a port town. Pete is chatting with a pirate named Barbossa, who explains that he stole a cursed Aztec treasure, and now his pirates are in a state of permanent undeath until they can return it. Sora chases the pirates into town to see them capture Elizabeth, the governor's daughter. Sora and Will Turner try to save her, but Heartless stop them and the pirates get away. At the docks, the group meets Captain Jack Sparrow, who used to own the ship Barbossa now commands after betraying him, and they steal another ship to go on the chase.
You really want to be a pirate?
Of course not.
They head to Isla de Muerta, where Barbossa is attempting a blood ritual to end the curse. He thinks that Elizabeth is the child of their old crewmate and has his Aztec coin, but in fact Will's the one they want. Will and Elizabeth escape while Jack is captured. The two ships come together and Sora and the pirates have a good old-fashioned swashbuckle. Will threatens to end his life so the curse can't be broken, but Pete grabs him. Sora and Jack chase them again and Barbossa stabs Jack, but he manages to steal a coin, so he's cursed now too. Jack shoots Barbossa while Will returns the coins, and Barbossa finally dies.
Laugh while you can, Barbossa.
I feel cold.
Man, this got dark even for Kingdom Hearts, didn't it? In any case, everyone's reunited and Sora heads to Agrabah. Iago finds Sora, Donald, and Goofy, explaining that he escaped the limp that they trapped him and Jafar in, and he wants to apologize to Aladdin and Jasmine for being such a jerk. Aladdin's been living it up in the palace. Apparently after he saved the city, everyone just kind of forgave him for being a criminal and literally stealing all the time. However, lately he's been depressed and he's been going off alone. Aladdin's feeling bored with palace life and jealous of Genie and Carpet, who are off seeing the world. Apparently he wasn't taking all that great care of Jafar's lamp because now it's gone. A random peddler has it and demands treasure in exchange for it, and everyone's too polite to say no. They head to the Cave of Wonders, which is miraculously open again, and apparently everyone agreed that it's just okay to take treasure from it now, even though that was a pretty bad deal last time. They get the treasure, but it doesn't really matter because back in Agrabah, Pete grabs the lamp from the peddler. Luckily, Genie shows up and takes it back.
Friend, to think I left you forlorn and genieless! Oh, the humanity!
Genie?
Hey, Al, have you been putting on weight? Oh, of course, what am I saying? You're living at the palace now!
Aladdin!
Jasmine!
Pete summons some Heartless before fleeing, and once they're down, they stash Jafar's lamp to hopefully keep it safe before Sora goes on to the next world. Pluto, who is apparently still hopping from world to world, finds Axel in the world that never was. He follows him to the Destiny Islands where Axel meets Kairi, who's tired of waiting around for Sora and Riku and wants to take a more active role in the story, which I think we're all thankful for. Axel tries to take Kairi captive.
Hey, I feel like we're friends already.
You're not acting very friendly.
But someone, we don't actually know who, but it's almost certainly Riku, who remember looks like Ansem so he wouldn't want to show Kairi his face, opens another portal and she and Pluto get away and end up in Twilight Town, where they meet Hayner, Pence, and Olette. Sora's back in Halloween Town, where Jack Skellington informs him that they're going to be celebrating Christmas this year. While Sally and Dr. Finkelstein work on a special project, Jack takes Sora and his friends to go see Santa Claus. Maleficent forces Locke, Shock, and Barrel to cause trouble in the toy factory because she just kind of hates Christmas. When they're found out, she decides to resurrect Oogie Boogie so that he can get revenge on Sora. Sally tells Santa not to let Jack back into Christmas Town before Oogie captures him. She tells Jack and Sora and they all go after him. Sally distracts Oogie so Santa can get away and the heroes fight. Oogie falls apart again, and Sally reveals the secret project, which was a Santa outfit for Jack. He'd wanted to take control of Christmas, which Sally knew was a bad idea. Santa explains that both he and Jack have a specific purpose and that they should commit to what they do best. If they try to run each other's holidays, it's going to be a disaster for everybody.
I just thought you could use a little help this year, Mr. Claus. You must be exhausted from all the preparations, and I wouldn't mind a second chance to get this Christmas thing right.
Yes, being Santa Claus can be tiring. But let me tell you something, Jack. Seeing the happy faces of little children when they discover the presents I've brought them makes it all worthwhile, year after year after year.
Jack agrees, and Sora opens up the gate to go to Pride Rock. Sora is set upon by the hyenas Shenzi, Banzai, and Ed, but their master calls them back. In the elephant graveyard, they save a lioness named Nala from some Heartless. She explains that their king Mufasa has died, and his brother Scar is taken over, but he's doing a pretty awful job and everyone's kinda miserable. Sora wants to help them out, but the wise mandrill Rafiki says that whoever topples Scar has to be the new king. Scar arrives with Pete and the hyenas in tow, and Nala and Sora have to run. Nala says that someone named Simba would have been the rightful king, and Sora's delighted since he's another one of the summons that Sora used when this world fell to darkness. They find Simba in the oasis, where he's living with Timon and Pumbaa. Simba is ashamed because he believes that he caused his father's death, while Nala thought that he had died too. Sora, Donald, and Goofy learn the art of relaxing, while Simba and Nala catch up. Mufasa's spirit speaks to Simba, who tells him he has to take his rightful place and remember who he is.
How can I go back? I'm not who I used to be.
Remember who you are.
Everyone returns to Pride Rock, where Scar tries to humiliate Simba by making him tell everyone he was responsible for the king's death. However, he admits to Simba that he was the one who orchestrated it. Sora and Ko fight the hyenas, while Simba faces off against his uncle. Simba tosses Scar off the rock, but his darkness turns him into a Heartless. Sora joins the fray and they defeat him, freeing the kingdom. Simba takes his place as king and Sora takes off, seeing the familiar world of Twilight Town.